Mythos is this model released by Anthropic, not to the public, but we learned about it publicly a couple weeks ago when the company gave a select group of government organizations and banks and cybersecurity firms sort of special, tightly held access to it because the company believes it's this enormous threat and has sort of vastly more ability to find holes in computer systems that might let hackers get in and do malicious things.
If they're limiting access, why are they allowing the government to have it?
Well, we're not actually sure at this point just how much access the government has, but what we do know is sort of getting at the tension you raised earlier. There are a bunch of government agencies that are sort of eager to get their hands on it. And top government officials, the Secretary of the Treasury, Chairman Jerome Powell at the Fed, they've been urging banks and financial sector organizations to use this tool to plug their own holes. And that seems to be out of a worry that once this type of tool is out there in the public, those might become vulnerabilities.
So they want them to kind of stress test their own systems using Mythos before Mythos is released to the public. What does that mean for this meeting that Anthropic CEO is scheduled to hold with Susie Wiles, the chief of staff, today? What is the relationship right now between the White House and the company at large? Because government agencies, or at least some of them, want to use this model, but the Pentagon has blacklisted Anthropic.
It's a great question, and it's a little confusing. On the one hand, we have sort of top administrations in the officials in the Trump administration saying this company is a supply chain risk, and they've been doing that as part of this dispute with the Pentagon over concerns about the artificial intelligence being used in surveillance or the targeting of weapons. On the other hand, we have top officials in the Trump administration also saying this is such a powerful tool. Hey, you banks, financial sector, we need you to use this. And this email that we got yesterday, my reporting colleague Margie Murphy and I, actually says the federal chief information officer is working on building guardrails, technical guardrails, so that the top cabinet level agencies in the government could begin using this tool. So it's a little bit confusing going into this meeting.
All right, maybe I'm a little cynical here, but it seems like individuals, consumers, corporations trying to figure out what AI is, how I use it, all that kind of stuff. I don't have a lot of confidence that my federal government is going to do a good job with AI here. To what extent do we know that the various government agencies are trying to incorporate AI into their workflows?
I mean, I think we've seen massive efforts across the federal government, as we have in many different industries across the private sector, to build AI into their workflows. This tool is a little different, or at least we think it's a little different based on what we've heard from the limited number of people and organizations using it, in that it poses risks of a type that we haven't really seen taken this seriously before. We've been talking to people who are using it, and one of that is, okay, AI used to be able to do the digital equivalent of picking a lock. Well, now it can pull off Ocean's 11, right? Now it's doing full heists.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, I'm going to steal that, by the way.
Okay, so the capabilities it has is kind of a different order of magnitude than what we've seen so far. What kind of AI does the federal government use right now? What do we know in terms of the application? So
different parts of the federal government use all sorts of AI tools, including ChatGPT or the same types of large language models you or your colleagues or many people in many different sectors might consult to find a quick answer to a question or look up where they should stay in a trip.